Hey everybody, let's get ready and do a post-workout deep stretch. All you need is your mat. You have to be warm in order to do this. This is designed for after you work out, after your run, whatever it is, you're all worked out. I just worked out, I put a jacket on because I don't want to cool down too much. I want to keep my muscles warm. This is a prime opportunity to take advantage of warm, heated muscles and do a nice deep stretch. Very different than the type of dynamic stretching that we do before we work out. So let's start on our backs. You're gonna hug your knees into your chest. I'm gonna turn all kinds of different ways so you guys can see me. So your head, neck, and shoulders are nice and flat. You hug your knees in. If it's too hard for you, you're gonna hold behind your hamstrings. You want to encourage your low back down. Hug your knees in. Tuck your chin. Drag your shoulder blades down. And just rock from side to side. You can make little circles. Really bringing the stretch into the low back. All right, we're gonna hold on to the left leg and extend the right leg long. Heel is down on the mat. Again, I want you to drag your shoulders down, tuck your chin, and lengthen through the crown of your head. You're trying to lengthen your spine here. Hug the knee, the left knee, out and around the rib cage and up towards the shoulder. Try to keep weight equal on both of your hips. So we can stretch really deeply here because we're nice and warm. So pull up on the shin, pull down with the hands, hug the elbows in, and drive that knee up towards the shoulder. Kind of a tourniquet effect on your hip. You're dorsiflexing both of your ankles so that your toes are reaching up towards your knees. And we're gonna take this to a twist. So put your, I want you to bump your hips a little bit slightly to the left and then drop your knee over to the right. Your left knee over to the right. Your left arm is out like a T or it can be reaching up behind you. I just want you to enjoy the stretch. So if you put your palm face down, it's gonna help you pin this left shoulder down. I want you to keep the left shoulder down as much as possible and stretch through here. So the right leg is on the mat, the left knee is over to the right. Try and look over your left shoulder to stretch out your neck. Inhale, nice big long inhales and exhales with your stretching. Try to relax your body. Inhale, lengthen through your right leg. Exhale, maybe pull a little bit deeper on the left knee. I'm going to show you some variations here. You can kick your left leg out straight. I like to use my hand and kind of pull on my IT band, pull on my quad, reach through the heel. The other thing you can do is you can bend the bottom knee, grab onto the top of the bottom foot, and kick into your hand and sort of do a little baby arch of your spine. You'll feel a big quad stretch on the right side. You only want to do this if you keep your right knee down. Good, breathe here, and then slowly release. Come back onto your back and hug your knees in and make those little circles again. So I'm going to move a little bit more quickly through these exercises. You're welcome to pause the video at any time if you want to stay longer and deeper into a pose. Hold on to your right knee, extend your left leg long. Tuck your chin, drag your elbows in, pull your shoulders down. And hug the knee out and around the rib cage and up towards that right shoulder. Reach long through the left leg, pull, 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 and then take it to your twist. Put your foot down, bump your hips slightly to the right, and then lift your foot back up, and then bring the knee over and extend the arm out. So whatever feels good here. And every inhale, lengthen through the left leg. And every exhale, you can pull a little bit deeper, you can pull on that outer knee, our outer quad, to kind of encourage that knee over to the side. Try and keep your right shoulder down. It's okay if this knee isn't on the floor. It's perfectly fine. Option here, extend the leg long, reach through the heel. So you kind of have scissor legs. I like to take my hand and pull the tissue of my hip up as I'm extending through my left leg. Other option, bend the bottom knee, grab onto the top of the foot. Keep rolling over and looking over your right shoulder and kick into your hand, driving the knee down, the left knee, the one that's on the mat. cat pulling its tail, this one's called. Big quadricep stretch, feels good. All right, slowly release. Once again, you can hug your knees into your chest, maybe rock from side to side. All right, happy baby, elbows inside the knees, hands, palms face inward. You're gonna hold onto your ankles, your calves. If you're really tight, your elbows are gonna be on the outsides of your knees. Otherwise, they're gonna be on the inside of your knees. You're gonna keep your head, neck, and shoulders down. You're gonna pull down with your fingers. You're gonna pull up with your feet. You'll pull in with your elbows. In with your knees and out with your elbows to make this dynamic. You're not just hanging out here. Couple options here. You can take peace fingers onto your toes. You can bend and extend one leg at a time. You can just stay right here in happy baby. You can rock from side to side, or you can do a nice big wide angle. You can open both legs out to the side. Whatever feels good. So your feet are flat, like if you were to step on the ceiling, you'd make a footprint. Okay, let's bring the feet together and release the feet down to the mat so that you're in cobbler or Supta Baddha Konasana. So the feet are down, outer blades of the feet are on the mat, your knees are nice and wide. Walk your shoulder blades together, puff up through your heart, tuck your chin, bring your hands to your inner thighs, and give them a little encouragement out more to the side. See how it feels to have your heels in close to your body, or your heels kind of further away from your body. It takes the stretch to different parts of the hip. Okay, bring your heels in close to your body. You're gonna keep your left leg down. You're gonna bring your right leg up to happy baby. So you're in half happy baby, half cobbler. This somehow turns this into a much deeper hip stretch. You've got one hip in external rotation, the other one's not. And we'll switch sides. Right foot down, right knee is in butterfly or cobbler. Sole of the foot is on the mat, knee is wide. Left foot lifts up, and you do your happy baby on this side. Elbow is either inside or outside the knee. And just rest here. Take a couple breaths. Nice big deep breaths. Because we're warm, we can pull and we can push and pull and really encourage this stretch. All right, release. Just extend your legs out long. And reach your arms up overhead. All right, bend your knees, bring your feet flat. I'm gonna turn slightly sideways for this. Okay, we're gonna do a big deep hip stretch. So you're gonna take your right thigh, bring it over your left thigh, pick up your left foot and pull your knees to the outer edges of the room. And take your hands, you're either gonna put them on top of your shins, your ankles, or the outer edges of your feet. Depends on your flexibility, okay? Doesn't really make a difference. I want you to keep your head, neck, and shoulders down on the mat. So first what we're gonna do is hug our knees into our chest real slowly and drag your heels down towards your hips. And encourage your right hip down onto the mat. Pull your belly in and iron out your low back as you roll your right hip down, right glute down. Couple options here. You can stay right here, or you can lift your feet, pull out on your ankles, bend your elbows as you lift up with your feet. So you're doing kind of a little push-pull. And then release. Let's switch sides. Slowly unwind. Bring your feet down. Lift and lower your hips a few times into bridge. And then we'll do the other side. So your feet are down. You're going to pick up your left leg. You're going to bring your left thigh over your right. Slowly pick up your right foot. Pull your knees really wide. I want a huge compression here with your inner thighs. Bring your knees close to your chest. Reach wherever you can. Grab ankles. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Dorsiflex your ankles, so toes towards the knees. Now pull your heels down towards your hips, knees towards your chest, tuck your chin, hug your elbows in, and enjoy the stretch right here. Encourage your left hip down and away. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, that feels good. If you did so on the other side, you're gonna lift your shins with their parallel. You're gonna pull your ankles out as you pull up with your legs. So you're doing a little push-pull. Left hip is still pushing down. And then slowly release, feet down, lift and lower your hips a few times. Okay, bring your feet at least to the width of your mat, maybe even off your mat. Head, neck, and shoulders can stay down, or you can interlace your hands behind your head. You're gonna let your knees fall to the right, and then you're gonna let both of your knees fall to the left. So you're on the outer blade of one foot, and you're on the inner blade of the other foot. So just roll from side to side. Okay, both knees fall to the right. Take your left foot, walk it off the mat to the left. Bring your hands behind your head and look down your body. I want your knee in line with your hip in line with your collarbone, inner part of your shoulder. Take your right foot, pick it up, and put it somewhere between your knee and your calf, and then let the head come back down. You don't have to add this added weight. So what you want to think about is tucking your tailbone, pulling your belly into your spine, and encouraging your left knee down and slightly away. Big hip flexor stretch here in the front. Like I said, if it's too much pressure, take the foot off and just encourage that left knee down. Breathing the whole time. Release the foot, bring the feet back onto the mat, toes are facing forward, and you're going to windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Let's do the other side. Back and forth. When you're ready, both knees are going to fall to the left. You're going to take your right foot and walk it over to the right. I like to walk it until I feel my foot off the mat. It pretty much lines me up nice and straight. I'm going to pick up my left foot and bring the outer ankle onto the top of this, somewhere between the knee and the ankle, to put some more added pressure and weight as I relax, pull my belly into my spine, and think about my right knee pressing down and slightly away. Big hip flexor stretch. It feels really, really good. Good, and slowly release. Windshield wiper the legs again, side to side. Maybe hug the knees in. Drive the tailbone down. Give it a big hug. Great. Roll over to one side, press yourself up. Okay, we're gonna do a seated twist. So, left foot is in front. So you're sitting cross-legged. Put your left foot in front and your right foot behind it. Make sure nothing is stacked, that everything is kind of open here. So bring your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind, and we're just going to do a nice twist. So twist and look over your right shoulder. Press your right knee away, pull with your left hand. Press with your right hand behind you so that you're sitting up nice and tall. Look over your right shoulder. Twist as much as you can here. Now keep your body where it is. Bring your gaze over your left shoulder. Bring your right arm up by your bicep. Now open and twist back and lean back slightly. Come back to the center. Bring your right hand and bring it onto your left knee. Bring your chin to your chest, hollow out your belly, and pull your back round, a curve through the front of the body. Pull everything to the back. Tuck your chin, hollow out your belly. Round your shoulders forward. And then slowly release, uncross your arms, bring your hands down to the mat. And with a nice flat back and straight arms, just crawl your fingers forward. Depending on your flexibility here, you might be able to bend your elbows, bring your forearms down to the mat, bring your chin down to your chest. Maybe your forehead comes down to the mat. This is a great time to pause the video and hang out here and slowly begin to walk your hands further and further away from you as your forehead comes down to the mat. Nice deep breaths here. Slowly walk your hands up. Extend your legs out in front of you and give them a little shake. Okay, other foot in front. So this time my right foot My right foot is inside, my left foot is in front. I want to make sure it's the other side. Left hand to the back, right hand to the left knee. Sit up nice and tall, lean forward and twist and look over the left shoulder. Twist as much as you can. Keep the twist, look over your right shoulder. Ooh, I just heard a crack. Lift your left arm up by your bicep. Lean slightly back and twist more to the left. Take a big inhale here. Crush your left hand over the right knee. Tuck your chin, hollow out your belly, round your spine, and lean back. You're leaning back towards your tailbone. Deep breaths. Uncross your arms, sit up nice and tall, and then begin to walk your hands forward. We'll do the deep hip stretch on this side. So try to come down with a flat back first, and then maybe you bend your elbows and slowly drop your chin towards your chest. Slowly walking the elbows and the arms further and further away. Oh, someday your forehead will come all the way down towards the mat, and slowly press yourself up. Oh, it feels good. Press your legs out in front and give them a little twist. Kind of twist the hips around. Good. Okay, let's spin around and come to a tabletop. We'll do some cat-cow, some spinal extensions and flexions. Hands are nice and flat. Knees are underneath the shoulders. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chin. Exhale, tuck and curl. Press the mat away, bring your chin to your chest, wrap your shoulders forward. Inhale, drop the belly, lift your chin. Pause here, look over your right shoulder. Crunch your shoulder towards your hip. Look over your left shoulder, crunch your left shoulder towards your left hip. Come back to the center, round, tuck, and curl. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Look over the right shoulder. Spin back around, come to the left shoulder. Look over the left shoulder, crunch the shoulder towards the hip. Tuck the chin to the chest, round to the spine, and then sit back. Curl your toes under, bring your knees together. Reach back, make sure all 10 toes are coming forward. We'll do a little lateral twist. Bring your fingertips down or towards the mat and bring your left arm up and over and twist. You're in toe crunch. I know, you're in toe crunch. Left fingers down, right hand up and over, lateral stretch. Good, come back to tabletop. Untuck your toes, do a little yogi drum roll, get some blood flow back into those toes. Okay, great, let's do a pigeon stretch. So we're in tabletop. Bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Spin your right foot so that it lands somewhere between your left hand and your left knee. Now keep walking your left knee back. Walk it back, walk it back. I'm gonna turn sideways. Walk it back, walk it back, walk it back. Even though I'm off the mat. Okay, so you wanna stay upright in pigeon and encourage this right hip down to the mat. So it kind of helps to squeeze your knees together and lift and lower your hips and lift and lower your hips and keep scooting that left knee back until you feel you're close. You can always put a block underneath the hip or a rolled towel to take up the space. You want your hips to stay stable and square. And then once your hip is down and touching the mat or you've bolstered it, you're gonna come forward and come down onto the mat. Now, you can make two fists and stack them or put your forehead here. You can bring a block down. You can stack your hands. What I'd like you to try to do is bring your left cheek to the mat, and that'll keep you from rolling over onto the right side. A lot of people roll over onto the right hip to get the hip down. I want you to keep your hips square and encourage your right glute down that way. Now, dorsiflex the right ankle, the one that's in front. Draw the toes towards the knee. You're going to feel everything light up. So again, left ear is on the mat. Couple options here. You can bring your left elbow forward over to the right, and you can rest your left ear on your left bicep. You'll really feel a stretch through the hip here. If your shoulders are super flexible, you'll be able to straighten the arm out completely and bring the side of the head down onto the mat. Good. And then press yourself up. Curl your back toes under. Come back to tabletop. Let's do some hip circles. Circle everything around. Go in the other direction. Arch and flex the spine. Okay, let's do the other side. Left knee is going to go behind the left wrist. The left foot is somewhere between the right hand and the right hip, but it can't be in the way of that. So I'm going to give some different cues on this side. So dorsiflex that ankle. So here's what I want you to do. Walk your hands back so that they're by your foot and outside your knee, and try to sit up nice and tall. Curl your right toes under, pick up your knee, push your heel back, and then put your knee back down. That's a really good way to try to help and encourage this hip to come down onto the mat. So I'm better on this side. My left hip is all the way down on the mat here. So your final, your full extension of this pose would be that the front shin would be parallel to the mat like this. But I can't quite get my hip down there. So I'm going to try to keep pulling it up as much as I can. Now I'm going to think about getting the top of the right hip, the top of the right quad more down onto the mat. So bolster the left glute if you need to with a block or a towel. Otherwise, just try not to roll onto the left glute. Keep your hips square. So I want you to think about a heavy right hip and take your right knee and press it down and roll it back. So you're trying to get more of your thigh on the mat and more of your quad on the mat. Heavy, heavy right quad. So right ear on the mat, or stack your hands, is going to help you not roll over to the left and cheat. That's the path of least resistance, and you're not going to get as much out of this stretch. Remember, the other option is that you bring your elbow over, you bring your shoulder down, and you rest on the arm that way. It's really going to intensify the stretch. Big stretch through the back of the left hip. Breathe here, take a couple breaths. And remember, we're trying to get that right hip and that right hip bone closer and closer to the mat. Slowly walk your hands back and swing your right leg around. So now your left knee is bent, the sole of your left foot is on your inner right thigh. Your right leg is long. You're going to plant your right hand behind your hip. Take your left arm and reach it up. Nice big inhale here. And then an exhale, I want you to push with your right hand, the one that's behind you, and reach way forward. Try to take your left hand and dial it to the right so that your palm is facing the left, and grab the pinky edge of this foot. Or you're holding onto your calf or your ankle. You've got your knee bent, whatever it is that you need to do here. It's perfectly fine. Knee bent, grab where you can. I want you to encourage your forehead down to your knee, you guys. Square your shoulders and bow forward. See if you can get a forehead to knee connection. Good. Now if you plantar flex your ankle, which is reaching your toes far away from you, you don't pull on your left hand, you'll feel a nice stretch down your low back on the left side. Remember, you can be up here with your knee bent, and maybe you're slowly extending your heel further away, and then slowly rise to sit nice and tall. Take your left foot, take it away from your inner thigh. We're going to do a twist. Square your shoulders to this extended leg. So I'm bringing my right shoulder forward and my left shoulder back. I'm going to take my right forearm and bring it down inside my knee. I'm going to trap my hand underneath my calf. I'm going to dorsiflex my ankle, pulling my toes towards my knee. And then I'm going to bring my left hand behind my head, bring my right shoulder forward, left shoulder back, and then reach up and over. Relax the left knee, right shoulder under, big lateral, side lateral stretch. Press down with your calf, pull up with your hand. Then slowly release. We're going to do the other side. Extend your left leg long. Bend your right knee. Bring the sole of your right foot to your inner left thigh. Take your left hand and bring it behind your hip. This helps us sit up nice and tall. I'll turn sideways like this. Helps you sit up nice and tall. I'm pressing to bring my heart forward and pulling my chin back. Inhale, bring your right arm up. And on an exhale, I'm pushing with this left hand. I'm gonna grab anywhere I can on the left side of this calf, the ankle, or the outer blade of the pinky edge of the foot. And I'm gonna bend my elbow and slowly bring my forehead down to my knee. Little push-pull here. Remember, if your knee is bent, that's perfectly fine. Get a forehead to knee connection wherever you are, and then try and slide your heel away with your knee, with your forehead connected to your knee, wherever you are. Slowly release and come and sit tall. Release the foot away from the inner thigh so that you have room for your left forearm. So first, square your shoulders to the right so that they are in line with this extended left leg. Bring your left forearm down to the mat. Pick up your leg and put your hand underneath your calf. Dorsiflex toes towards the knee, hand to the ear. Take a nice big inhale, open, and then reach the arm up overhead. Left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. Press your right knee down. Press this bent knee down and away. Twist, 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 twist. Oh, feels good. And then slowly release. Come onto your belly. Bring your arms out in front like Superman. Your legs are long behind you. Your toes are untucked. Pop up onto your fingertips. Lift your arms up. Take your right arm. Weave it underneath your left arm so that it is an extension of your shoulder. Take your chin, look all the way over to the right, on top of this right shoulder. Now relax all your weight on your shoulder and extend your left arm forward. Now relax your left hip and relax your left shoulder. Try to take your right hand here that's on the mat and keep all 5 fingers down on the mat. That's tricky. That's a tricky stretch. All right, slowly press to your left hand. Relax your arms out in front and just bring your chin down to the mat or your forehead and just rest. Before we go to the other side. Lift your elbows, pop up onto your fingertips. Weave the left arm under. Okay, once the arm is straight and it's perpendicular to this extended arm out here, take your chin and pull it as far over to the left as you can. Look left. Relax everything down, and you want the whole weight of your head to be on the shoulder. The left hand, all 5 fingers pressed down. The right arm is reaching forward, and you're relaxing underneath your right armpit. Heavy right shoulder. Keep looking to the left, right ear towards the mat. Then slowly release. Bring your right arm in, extend your arms back out, and rest. Okay, bring your arms out like a T. We're gonna do scorpion. If you did my warm-up video, this was in the warm-up video, but we're gonna hang here. Roll onto actually start with your arms in cactus. This is more of a shoulder stretch. If you don't like this, you can extend your less of a shoulder stretch, arms straight. Bent elbows, more of a shoulder stretch. Roll onto your right hip. Bring your right ear onto the mat. Pick up your left foot and try to bring your toes down to the mat. Extend long through the extended right leg. Now, try and bring your left heel towards the mat and flare your left knee back and away to the left. Take a couple breaths here. And slowly release. We'll go to the other side. We did this in the warm-up video. Roll to your left hip. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Pick up your foot, bring your toes down, and try to flare your knee out to the right. Maybe you can encourage your right heel down to the mat. Shoulders are down, head is down, everything's down. The only thing that's lifted is your right knee. So we did this in the warm-up video, but we rolled from side to side in a more of a dynamic way. Come onto your belly. Bend your knees and just windshield wipe your legs back and forth. Ooh, that feels good. All right, press yourself back. Quick child's pose, knees wide, big toes touch, arms out in front. Come to all fours and swing your legs out in front. So we're going to do a seated figure four. If this does not work for you, I want you to go onto your back and do the more traditional figure four. So your legs are out straight. You're sitting up nice and tall. Take your right ankle, bend your right knee, bring your right ankle above your left knee. I don't want it to be on your knee. Bring your hands down with your fingers pointing out. Slowly begin to bend your left knee as you encourage your right knee away. Now dorsiflex your right ankle, toes towards the knee, and aim the sole of the foot towards your front foot. That's gonna protect this right knee. So you're gonna either drag the foot in, or you're gonna press with your hands, lift your hips, and you're gonna walk your hips as close to that front heel as you can. You're squeezing your shoulder blades together, and you're pulling your shoulders back. So you wanna try to do this with a nice flat back. So keep waving this right knee and pushing it away from you. Nice big hip stretch. Now, option, you can stay here or extend your left leg long. Put your sole of your right foot in your left elbow crease. Take your right elbow, put it on your foot into your left elbow crease. Your right knee into your right elbow crease. You're gonna clasp fingers, or maybe one hand clasps a wrist, and you're gonna rock your baby. Rock it from side to side. See what it feels like to lift the foot up a little bit higher? Sit forward. Try not to round your spine. Try not to round back. You notice I do a lot of hip stretches, because that's typically where people are the most tight, and we do the least amount of stretching. Okay, sit up nice and tall, pull your shin in, heart forward, and then release. Let's do the other side. Left ankle above the right knee. Dorsiflex the ankle first, so toes towards the knee, and then put your hands behind you, puff up through your chest, pull your shoulder blades together, and slowly begin to bend this right knee. Flare the left knee away, and then press with your hands, pick up your hips, and you're slowly gonna walk your hips as close to this front heel as you can get. I can go a lot further in this side. I have a lot more mobility in my left hip. I'm working on some issues with my right hip right now, which probably means I should be doing it twice as long on the right side as on the left side. And you're breathing the whole time. Big breaths. You can stay here. You can lay on your back and turn this into a traditional figure four. Or you're gonna extend your right leg long, put that foot in the right elbow crease, put the knee in the left elbow crease, sit up nice and tall, lean forward, and slowly rock your foot across the body. You're just bringing your elbows left and right. Feels really good to go way to the right and pick up the foot at the same time. You can also lift the foot and pull it more in towards your chest. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Pull, pull, pull. And release. Last thing, wide angle forward fold. Legs are nice and wide. Roll your hip bones forward. Dorsiflex the ankles, toes towards the knees, and come down any way you want. You can come down onto your forearms. You can reach forward with your hands. Just try to lengthen and straighten through your back first. Come down with a flat back first. And then you can round your shoulders and you can bring your forearms or your forehead down towards the mat. This is not the most flexible for me. I like to make two fists and rest my forehead on my hands. Drive through your heels, draw your toes towards your knees. Press your big toe away and your pinky toe towards you. to kind of level out your foot so that your big toe is more in line with the center of your shin. We tend to rotate, inner rotate or outer rotate our ankles based on the flexibility of our ankles. All right, slowly walk yourself up. Pick up your legs, bring them forward, give them a little shake, and we're done. So this is not every single stretch that you could do at the end of a workout. These are just some of my most favorite stretches. But if you do that after you work out, you're gonna feel great. So have a great day. Hope to see you another time. Bye-bye.